speakers, welcome guests, and the Toastmaster of the day. Very good evening.
Good evening.
I was here by 5:40 in the evening, and the stage was very well set for the meeting. The chairs were neatly arranged, the blackboard was filled, the word of the day very clearly written, the theme was written clearly, the speakers, the evaluators, the general evaluator, every role taker, it was very clearly written there. So a job brilliantly done, coming week after week, well ahead of time and ensuring the meeting starts on time is not an easy job. But this lady is doing it in style for the past 4 months. So give a big round of applause to our participants. And then the way she kick-started the meeting, energy personified. She was eloquent, very fluent, and then she brings the much needed zeal and vigor and the energy to this meeting. And the way she introduced the presiding officer, that was also very well done. But normally, we used to have two standees here. One man and the other one depicting the woman, isn't it?
Yeah.
But today it was missing. So I feel that it is because two women speakers and the TOD was also a woman. So she decided to get away with that two instant ability. So otherwise the job brilliantly done. Yeah, big round of applause to those masters. My paradigm, your paradigm and our paradigm, if it is the paradigm of the God paradigm, then we fix the paradigm to become our paradigm. So overall, I lost my paradigm. I lost my structure. So for a moment I felt that I was listening to a sermon from Swami Nityananda. But he was very eloquent, very fluent, he was very comfortable on stage. Swami Nityananda. He doesn't take life seriously, but he took his role very seriously today. So that's why he came out the way he spoke today. Isn't it? He was very fluent, he was a picture of confidence. And the examples that he gave, if you die, if your mom fell, wow, wonderful examples, isn't it? Yeah. So I think we need to be a bit more considerate when we are talking about or giving some examples. Otherwise, a job brilliantly done for a person who is coming onto the stage for the very first time as a presiding officer. Yeah, big round of applause to Toastmaster. And then we had our Toastmaster. Let me reserve my comments a bit later. So before that, we will have our 3 evaluators who are going to evaluate 3 philosophers who came on stage. Sorry, 3 speakers who came on stage. Because all the speakers were a bit philosophical today. So to evaluate our first speaker, I would request Toastmaster Vivek Vijay to come on stage, please.
The first speaker was Shahina. Shahina was to speak on any topic, but may bear in mind that she had to implement the feedback that she received from the previous speakers, from last speech. So Shahina had 2 specific feedback that were to be loud enough to be heard throughout the room and not to have distracting body language. Both were reasonably achieved. But let's see, what was the speech intended to achieve overall? The speech was intended, Shahina's speech was intended to inspire the audience to meditate. Shahina started off very well by a very good probing question which grabbed the attention of everyone sitting here. Also, the topic is very something which catches our interest. It is not something which is very vague and nobody is interested in. So that is also a technique to choose a topic that everybody in the audience can understand. Towards the body of the speech, Shahina had very good eye contact throughout the room and a body language that was purposeful. Sometimes you run around the room, that was not there. It was very purposeful, the body language. And what helped her to gather the interest of the audience was that the statistics and the theory that she had behind why you should meditate. But what was really accomplished? I told you what was intended to accomplish was to inspire the audience. What was actually accomplished was to inform the audience. What happened between this was that Shahina informed the audience but could not inspire. That is because there is a lot of theory in it, so it appeared a bit of preaching. It appeared preaching. So if Shahina had introduced a story or an anecdote, it appeals to the right side of the brain, which is not the logical side of the brain, but the other side of the brain, the creative side of the brain, and then you remember for a long time. When you do that, what happens is that she was very successful in grabbing the attention, she was very successful in grabbing the interest. Now, she has to arouse the desire in us to find out what meditation is and to actually, at least tomorrow 50% of the audience should be doing meditation in the morning, or that should be the conversion that she has to do after her speech. But I don't think that really happened because there was no story in that we could remember. But all in all, she has a mastery over structuring a speech so well, and she is seasoned with excellent body language. And all that she has to do, Shahina has to do, is to find an anecdote, preferably a personal anecdote, that will cause a desire in the audience to take the action to meditate or to do whatever you are intending the audience to do at the end of the speech.
That was a very clinical evaluation by Toastmaster Vivek Vijay. I completely agree to whatever Vivek said, except one small addition. Maybe a bit, you can be a bit more louder. Where is Shahina?
She had to be.
She had to leave. She doesn't want to listen to you. So she can be a bit more louder. But I will disagree to only one point that she said. She said 47% of the time is lost in thinking, or we are lost in thoughts. In my case, it's a bit different. It is 74%. Having said that, we will move on to the next evaluation. Our next speaker will be evaluated by Toastmaster Alok. Toastmaster Alok.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vaidyanathan and Toastmaster Shilpa for allowing me to give this speech. Toastmasters and Shilpa in particular. I would want to, okay, the speech here was CC4, the project here was CC4, which called for how to say using rhetorical devices and how to create vivid images in the minds of the audience and make an impact. If I were to quote the manual, it says right for the ear. Now let's see how Shilpa went about this. And in line with the speech project, I've also tried to evaluate the speech as a set of triads. And I would be naming 3 sets of triads that I felt you use. The first triad that I would use is the delight triad. If CC4 was a person today, I really feel CC4 would be delighted. Because I really felt that this particular project, in terms of the vividity, in terms of the rhetorical devices that had to use, accomplished the objectives to the fullest. Second, audience delight. I really felt there was a picture that you painted, and all of us could actually imagine what you were trying to emphasize through your speech and say through your speech. The third delight that I would want to highlight here is this speech was a writer's and a reader's delight. Especially in terms of the language that was used, anyone who wants to be a writer would want to use such kind of language. And as far as the reader is concerned, if I was reading this as a writer, I would be delighted as well. So that is the delight triad that I want to refer to. The second is the imagery triad. I felt there was a wonderful imagery in terms of the journey between your husband and yourself that you laid out in the initial part of the speech. I believe this again requires a lot of practice and a lot of thought, because you have to describe a journey vividly using rhetorical devices, and that calls for some practice and a lot of thought, and that came out brilliantly. The second part was the imagery in terms of nature. Now this a lot of authors and poets try to accomplish, but you also try to incorporate that in terms of the beach and in terms of the wind. I think that was very well brought out again. Now, the most difficult part, I think, is when you try to create imagery for a structure. Now, when you describe the wedding hall, I think that was beautifully done. It's very difficult to, in my opinion, it's very difficult to bring out the structure and create an image of the structure in the minds of people. That was very well done today. Congratulations on that. The third triad that I would want to refer to is the feedback triad. Now, if I were to give you some feedback, what would that be? The title of his speech was Lemons and Strawberries. But I felt the speech tended more towards goodness of life. Maybe that could have been the title, something connected to goodness of life. Or in case you wanted to keep lemons and strawberries, maybe you could have re-emphasized how it was lemons and strawberries towards the end. And considering this speech is more about writing and creating an imagery, if the written word was accompanied by a little bit of voice modulation, little more of voice modulation, I think it could have been more of a success. And a bit of feedback that I got was that the voice could have been louder considering the words used, which were slightly more complex. So that was one feedback that I got. All in all, it was an excellent speech. Like I said, it was a delight as being part of the audience. It was well constructed and organized, and it encompassed all the elements of CC1 to CC3 that it had to, and further enhanced with CC4. So congratulations on that. I look forward to hearing more speeches.
That was a wonderful evaluation. She recently staged a wonderful partnership on his merit to Taylor. So give a big round of applause to the speaker and the evaluator. She posed a question today to the audience while speaking. Do you believe in goodness in life? But the answer was so few. Do you all believe in goodness in life?
Yes.
Yes. Where is energy? You need to be roaring with energy when somebody is on stage. Nevertheless, and the next evaluator is a simple man with a big vision. So please come on stage, Toastmaster Ayyappa, to evaluate our third speaker.
General evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I am my target speaker, Toastmaster Puneet. I would call it as, for me, CC10 is something like an acknowledgement address. It's all about inspiring the audience, and they should have some takeaway from that and call for action. Right? Now, this speech also include the lessons learned from the previous projects, the purpose, organization, word usage, body language, vocal variety, research, and importantly, the persuasion techniques. Now, how you have incorporated all these techniques in your speech? What I liked about your speech was well organized. It has attention grabbing throughout the speech. Right? You are very good at that. And very off message throughout the message, your speech. You had a subtle humor here and there. And your talk is all about how to respect time and what we get out of it, what we get if we respect time, right? So you made us understand what are the repercussions if we don't respect time. And some of the humors I liked it. Like, 5 minutes with your wife or girlfriend, how you feel, and the same thing, same 5 minutes with your boss, right? And one more thing is, you told Indians hardly respect any time. Now, and also you gave some techniques like, to manage time, we can use Google Map and other things. Now, my suggestions. Being an inspirational speech, it would have been nice if you had taken some personal stories, okay, wherein you really did not manage time well and you lost something, and how you covered it up later by managing time later. That would have been inspired the audience well, and this is wonderful takeaway from that, right? Some techniques, for example, you could have asked every member to close their eyes for 1 minute and count for one minute. How long the time is, or maybe you can give a plank for 1 minute. They find so so long, correct? And the some of the areas, body language is very good, and vocal variety. You said 5 minutes with the wife. 5 minutes with the wife? 5 minutes with the boss? Right? So you could have modulated your voice there. Now, what I feel is, I think you can do some improvement to your speech to meet the project objectives. Probably you can try it again. That's my suggestion. Or probably can go with the further speeches. Yeah. All the best and congratulations.
This is a landmark speech. That is CC10 for a guest. Is there any guest who is coming for the first time? CC10 means that the speaker has completed 10 projects beforehand and he is now called a competent communicator. So that's a landmark speech. Give a round of applause to The speech is all about managing time, but he spoke more than the time allotted. But that's not a big deal. How much of time he
Correct. 10:29.33.
10:29. So the maximum time allotted is 10 minutes. Nevertheless, and then we had a break, and the break was for close to 13 minutes.
Grade 29, 10:29. So you had
Okay. And how much was the time that we took for break?
for the break 11 minutes.
11 minutes. Okay. We exceeded just by a minute. And then we had a wonderful session. And the table topic master, dressed in style, he came and then he very well explained what table topic is all about. And then the topics that he chose and then the topic that he gave exactly was in sync with the interest of every speaker. And except for Zain, for all other speakers, he gave the topic first and then called the name. I don't know what problem he has got with Zain that he did discuss after the break. And there was one topic. Do you feel more connected to your soul when you are in the midst of a forest or a mountain? And the speaker didn't speak, actually his soul spoke. So I don't know where from we got topics of these kind. The topic when we speak about table topic, as a table topic master, you should take less amount of time. The topic should be short, it has to be crisp, and you need to repeat it only once, which can be easily understood by the speaker. But the topics were quite lengthy today, isn't it? And the simplest of the topics were the lengthiest of the ones, isn't it? So otherwise it was a brilliant job done. The topics were quite easy for the speaker to speak, except for the matter the topics was quite lengthy. Otherwise, very well done. So a round of applause to And then coming to our Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Sudeep. I think you are doing this work for the very first time in our club, isn't it? But nobody can say that you are coming onto the stage and doing this role for the very first time because you were extremely professional in your approach. Your conference personified, you were very eloquent, and your stage presence was full of energy, and then we could see that you were very professional in your approach. And you introduced all the speakers very well, and you also connected one speaker to the other speaker quite well. So that's a brilliant job done. So give a round of applause to Toastmaster Sudeep. If I am permitted to say, we have something called as a theme for the day. If you can use a short story and if you can connect that short story with the theme of the day, then nothing like that. So try to use a short story which can connect to the theme so that it becomes even better. But otherwise, the job brilliantly done. Now I will invite Toastmaster Rita Das, who is